I just had a rough night, okay? Put this on. All right. Are we good? Are we good? Hey, shh, keep it down. Keep it down. My head. If anyone in here dares to speak above a whisper, I swear to God I will lose my shit. Why'd I agree to do this? Hey guys, I'm Greg Masters, and I'm here to talk to you about ethics in the film industry. Now, wait, fuck, I messed up. Can I do that again? Can I do that again? All right, cool. How long do we got here? How long do we have here? All right, 6 hours? Ugh, stretching it. When it comes to the ethics in the film industry, there's no real set rules like the SPJ Code of Ethics or anything like that. There are things that people know not to do because, it's just common sense. But other than that, there are no real set ethics to go off of. I mean, the only thing we have close is the Motion Picture Production Code of 1930, known as the Hays Code, but this thing is so freaking weird. Let me read some of this off to you. Like, no picture shall be produced that will lower the moral standards of those who see it. Hence, the sympathy of the audience should never be thrown to the side of crime, wrongdoing, evil, or sin. I guess that means shows like Breaking Bad couldn't make it back then. Law, natural or human, shall not be ridiculed, nor shall sympathy be created for its violation. Once again, Breaking Bad. Sex, scenes of passion, they should not be introduced when not essential to the plot. Looking at you, Game of Thrones. Dances suggesting or representing sexual actions or indecent passions are forbidden? Are you telling me those dirty dancing movies would not be allowed in the 1930s? That's a crime right there. So as you can see, the people in the 1930s had a much different idea of ethics than we do now because, like, most of the things I listed are very popular today in television, movies, and all that. So, like I said, there's no clear set rule of ethics when it comes to the film industry. So what I, Greg Masters, decided to do is I decided to come up with 10 of my own, and maybe they'll catch on. Maybe they won't. They will if I get that damn patent, though. Number 1. Make sure you always carry yourself professionally when you're in public or on the job. This includes not showing up for a shoot drunk or hungover, which is kind of what I did, but don't look at me to be a role model. I never said I was a role model. Do as I say, not as I do. Number 2, treat every employee, employer, and client with respect. It's like the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. Immanuel Kant. You won't want your boss to treat you like crap, so don't treat others like crap. It's very simple. Number 3, don't undercut anybody on pay. If you say you're going to pay someone, pay them. It doesn't matter if they're just the screenwriter, third unit producer, or even the craft services guy. If you promise to pay them, pay them. I'm looking at you, Carlos. Number 4, pay your royalties. We live in a world today where it's very easy to steal an unknown artist's work and claim it as your own. But you're gonna have to not do that, all right? If you want to use a song in your film, ask permission from the artist. Some artists may be nice enough to give you the copyright for free, but others may want a set payment or a % of the film's profit. Do your research and ask permission before you use a song or work that is not yours. Number 5, make sure you have consent from everyone on camera so you can use their image. Ever watch a show like Impractical Jokers or different documentaries and wonder why some faces are blurred and why some aren't? That's because people gave their consent for their images to be used and some didn't. This isn't really important if you're on a film set with all actors and extras because they've all signed a contract beforehand. Hopefully. If you're shooting in public or documenting a certain real individual, make sure they give you permission to use their likeness in the video. If not, blur their faces and distort their voice if necessary. Number 6, make sure you get permission to film in a certain area. You can't just walk into a local bank or store and start filming. Everyone has to give their permission. Every state, city, and location have certain forms to fill out and fines and permits you have to pay. That's why some films set in New York are filmed in Canada, because It's very expensive to film in New York. The Warner Brothers Filmmakers Code of Professional Responsibility addresses this issue very well. It states, and I quote, "When filming in a neighborhood or business district, proper notification is to be provided to each merchant or neighbor who is directly affected by the company. This includes parking, base camps, and meal areas. The filming notice should include name of company, name of the production, kind of production, type of activity and duration, basically times, dates, number of days, including prep and strike, and company contact, the first assistant director, unit production manager, and location manager." Number 7. If a film is about a real event that took place, but isn't entirely faithful to the actual story, let the audience know. You'll sometimes see phrases during trailers like, "based on a true story," or "inspired by a true story," or "based on true events," because the film is about an actual event, but may not be entirely faithful to the event. Sometimes movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre will use the phrase, "based on a true story," to frighten the audience, when the only truthful thing about the film is the fact that Ed Gein was the inspiration for Leatherface. Make sure you use these phrases, especially if you're making a film based off a real person's life. Carlos. Number 8. Try to be as unbiased as possible when it comes to biographies and documentaries about real people. While it may be impossible to keep 100% of bias out of a project, it doesn't hurt to try. Documentaries are a whole different beast of filmmaking. You have to be careful when making a documentary because if you don't do your research and you present false information to the public, it could be a disaster for you and the people who are the subject matter of your documentary. You have people out there that will believe anything somebody in a silver screen tells them. Carlos. There's nothing wrong with making a documentary trying to be persuasive, but you have to be extremely careful with those as well. These are questions to ask yourself next time when making a documentary. We found these questions from a source called the Ethical Checklist for Persuasive Writing, which could also be used when making a persuasive documentary. Do I avoid exaggeration, understatement, sugarcoating, or any distortion or omission that leaves readers at a disadvantage? Are my information sources valid, reliable, and relatively unbiased? Am I really sure that what I am saying will harm no innocent persons or damage their reputation? Do I state the case clearly instead of hiding behind generalities and fallacies? Do I inform the readers of the consequences as I am able to predict, or what I am advocating? See, I'm sobering up, I'm getting there. Number 9, do not lie to your coworkers, employees, or subjects. If you're interviewing someone, do not tell them their interview will be used for one thing and then use it for another purpose. Be honest with everyone involved in your film project. Number 10, don't bill an actor or actress as a main character if they're only in the film for less than 30 minutes. Remember when the new Godzilla movie came out and everyone was like, "Yes, Bryan Cranston is in this, it's gonna be Godzilla versus Heisenberg." But then, spoiler alert, he dies 30 minutes in? That's not fair. He had top billing. Don't lure me in with Cranston and then give me that freaking kick-ass kid for the rest of the film. Not only does it insult my intelligence, but it is also misleading to your audience. Another recent example. In 2010, a small independent film came out called Camp Hell. It had Jesse Eisenberg prominently featured on the poster with top billing. Only problem is, Eisenberg was only in the movie for maybe like 5 minutes. His star was growing at the time, so they were like, "Hey, let's put his face on the cover." Everyone loves that Zombieland guy. This led to Eisenberg filing a lawsuit against them because they were using his name to sell the film, even though he was barely in it. This is like if Matt Damon's face was used to advertise Interstellar, even though he only made a small cameo in it. To sum it up, don't lie to your audience. And there you have it, my top 10 ethical codes for the film industry. Now these were very difficult to come up with, mainly because Hollywood executives probably have no idea what the word ethical actually means. It was hard to find some actual sources out there. But I managed to get up this morning in my hungover state and find them just for you. Now, whether you want to follow them or not, do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm Greg Masters, and what am I going to do right now? I'm going to go home, I'm going to eat something greasy, I'm going to take a hot shower, and I'm going to take a nap. See you next time. All right, are we done here? Are we done? Are we good? All right.